Hello my friends, it seems like Russia again tried to attack Ukrainian positions in Avdiivka, but failed with that attempt. From this image you may see that Russia formed one more convoy consist out of the 3 armored vehicles. Probably the first one is tank, with a demining flag on the front, and here you can see the corpses of the Russian armored vehicles and tanks left from the previous attack attempts on the same direction. So let's see what happened to them. As usual, kabooms and nothing more, nothing left from those vehicles. You can see that they were at first ambushed and started to turn back, but were kaputted with the help of Ukrainian artillery or maybe FPV drones. And judging on the map, we might understand the direction of the Russian attack attempt. All of them failed. So once again, the stupid mid-wave tactics from the Russian side. And you know what? It's not the only place where Russia failed today with their attack. There was also one more try for Russia to advance in Avdiivka. But before we go to it, let me shout out the sponsor and the partner of my channel, the Atlas VPN. They have the super deal that was made especially for my followers, where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for just $149 per month plus 12 months extra. So why do you need the Atlas VPN Premium service? First of all, I do care about my security, because Atlas VPN has a special design data breach monitoring system. If I have the Atlas VPN warning, then someone tries to reach my device, I switch off the public Wi-Fi. Atlas also has awesome feature of the multiple devices support from the single account, so I use Atlas VPN on my iPhone, laptop and iPad. I always keep it on to make sure that my devices are protected. Then I have some free time, I would like to watch my favorite series on the Netflix platform. So not only Atlas VPN gives me the permission to access any kind of series in my country which are blocked or not blocked, but it gives me fantastic streaming speed. So now my friends, please check out my personal link in the video description just below, or scan the QR code available on the screen, where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for just $149 per month plus 12 months extra. And don't forget, by choosing the Atlas VPN, you also support my job. Plus, the Atlas VPN participated the charity foundations to support the Ukrainian army. Avdiivka is located on the north near to Kupiansk, and it's the main attack direction for the Russian army. So today they changed the tactics a little and tried to advance with a small group of the soldiers, but all of them were spotted and attacked by the Ukrainian drones and were kaputted. I'm unable to show you the actual pictures of the kaputted Russian soldiers. It's against the policy of this platform. But anyways, on this picture we may see the result of the first Russian failed attack attempt. They lost many of the vehicles during it. The second one, again, the armored vehicles, and the third major attack attempt, many of the other vehicles. And today they advanced just with the infantry and were kaputted somewhere over here. There is the full video about the case, and I'm gonna publish it on my Telegram channel. So Avdiivka is like a cursed place for the Russian army. They simply gone over there. Let's go back to Avdiivka for a moment, because it seems like we have some of the changes out there based on the other source, Mayakovsk73, who publishes very nice maps. And here we have the achievement for Ukrainian army. Yes, we don't have the arrows like that, but definitely Ukraine took the ground back, or maybe it's the clarification of the map. Russia still has the assault vectors, but today they were not able to take more ground. As you know, Russian forces went to the place, but it is a big question whether they are able to establish the full control over this territory. Mostly their vehicles are being targeted by the Ukrainian FPV drones and artillery in the sector. That's why they keep their tanks away from the place, at least till this road, and only occasionally send them for the possible advancements. In general, Ukraine was capable to build the resistance against the Russian attacks, even in this vulnerable area. Let's go to Liman direction, where Ukraine also got the success, pushing Russians away a little, but still. Let's go to this source, and here we have the ground that was taken by Ukraine. Just a little, but still it is the success. you can see lots of the artillery fire from the Ukrainian side. So Russia again wants to move, but unsuccessfully. At the same time, they are losing the ground. However, Russia occupied one of the fields near to Avdiivka. So let's go to the timeline. It was yesterday and it is today. Not a big achievement, but still they move. And again, we have the clarification or confirmation from the Mykolaiv 73. So Russia definitely took this field. But before, the Russian forces were forced to retreat from this area under the Ukrainian counterattack, which our guys perform in the sector. But after it, Russia wants to regain the territory and they're forming several of the attack vectors. Still, they have no result in gaining more of the ground. And again, Russia tries to get Krinky village under control by assaulting with their army forces. So today it was the time for the Russian major attacks on their three main directions: Krinky and Sinkivka villages plus Avdiivka town. From Krinky we have this video of the Russian BMP driving across the road, not turning right, not turning left, and finally it was kaboomed with the help of something. And the same picture is here. Some of the Russian vehicles already were kaputted at the same road. And probably this is how it was, the FPV drone attack. FPVs are very effective. For example, this is the Russian artillery Msta S. It was targeted by 4 of the FPV drones, and only after it caught the fire. So sometimes a single drone is not enough to eliminate the Russian armored vehicle or tank or even the self-propelled artillery, like in this case. And one more video from Krinky. This is the Russian BMP. It was targeted, and later on one of the Russian soldiers seems to be lucky. He stayed on top of the armored vehicle. He survived, but not for a long time, just for a few seconds. Russia has reported about the drone attack on the Engels airfield. It is one of their main bases for strategic aviation, including Tupolev 160, the most capable Russian bomber. Yet there is no information about any kind of the kabooms in the area or some damages to the airplanes or to the infrastructure of the airfield. But the Russian side reports about 2 major kabooms, not telling us the consequences of those. This video was filmed by the Russian soldiers, so they went on assault in Krinky and were attacked by the Ukrainian artillery, including the cluster munition. So you can see it's the cluster munition. Some of the shells hit the tank. They were traveling on, and later on Russian soldier escaped, shouting loud that he has the problem with the ear or something, and he escaped to the local trench and stayed there for a while. After that the video just stops. From what can I say, the guy who was filming this video is not originally a Russian speaker. He has the severe accent, but still he is from the Russian Federation because they have different of the republics, including Buryatia and other stuff. Now we have more information about the Russian headquarters that was attacked in Sevastopol city a couple of days ago. Yes, Gerasimov wasn't there by that time, we understand it, but some other Russian officers were, including Colonel Vadim Nalevich, who was the commander of the 3rd Regiment of the Radio Electronic Forces, the forces that are very crucial for the Russian army and the forces which struggle a lot because of the Ukrainian attacks. The last week they've lost the most expensive radar that has ever been produced by the Russian army. $250 million system was kaputted by the cruise missile or probably HIMARS. Around the same time, the Russian headquarters in Sevastopol was ambushed, so this colonel decided to go to hell. Russia has started to modernize quite a big aviation bombs into the gliding bombs. This is FAB 1500. It means 1.5 tons of explosives inside. So far, largest in this modification of the gliding bomb, and indeed it's devastating. It looks like that in standard configuration, and this is what it might cause. Just look at this crater, and people inside look tiny. Indeed, it might bring severe devastation to Ukraine. It's horrible. A good thing that Ukraine started to shut down many of the Russian bombers. Because of that, the Russian aviation is not that capable as before. One more interesting case happened today at the border between Transnistria, so-called Transnistria, and Ukraine. The authorities of Transnistria reported the shooting at the border and that Ukraine took a couple of their citizens to their territory. The Ukrainian officials haven't commented on that incident yet. Guys, let's check out one of the Russian propaganda videos. I even put some of the subtitles for you to understand. Let's go. The Russian soldier is running somewhere across the fields, and what he carries is the election box, actually. Russia is getting ready for elections.
Что там? Выборы сегодня. Сегодня?
Oh my god, it's so funny. As Prigozhin says, where is ammunition? Why did you bring the election box instead of the shells? Well, this is definitely the piece of the cringe art. Let's go and listen to their Tarantino-like dialogues.
Ну да. Ну хорошо. Слышь, а ты в резервистах случайно не снимался?
Не, похож просто.
Реально похож. Ты за кого проголосовал? Вообще-то у нас в стране тайное голосование.
Secret voting in Russia. And judging on the face of this guy, he probably understood his own sarcasm.
С Богом, мужики. А ты за кого голосовал?
Even though he knows that it is a secret, he continued to ask his colleagues.
У нас в стране один президент. И он сказал, Одесса – русский город, а я из Одессы.
So with this, Russia wants to say that people from Odessa are fighting inside the Russian army. Well, we have some of the Ukrainians fighting for Russia, unfortunately. Not many now. Basically, from the occupied territories, Russia forcibly put them into their army. And also with this, Russia wants to get to Odessa, calling it the Russian city. Actually, it's not.
Всем постам, всему личному составу, боевая тревога, выдвигаемся, брать укрепрайон.
Принял. Выдвигаемся.
So they're going, and they have Vladimir Putin somewhere in their trench. Some of the cringe from the Russian propaganda. But what is happening inside the Russian Federation? Thousands of people are freezing, and it is happening not in Siberia, but in the Moscow Oblast. Because of the major failure of the communication system in the Russian powder factory, many of the settlements who were connected to the same line stay without any heating. From what I understood, it is happening already for 4 days consecutive. And people in Russia have to burn some of the woods to get warm. Oh my god, what a karma they have. Because the last winter they were absolutely sure that Europe would freeze to death without the Russian gas. And now they have to use the Russian woods. It is the best election advertisement that I have ever seen. And you know what? I'm sure that most of those people would still vote for Putin. I posted this joke of the day on my Telegram channel. President Vladimir Putin, at meeting with freezing citizens, expressed a lot of the warm words to them. Well, in fact, I'm sure that he would never meet with those people. Well, at least I would be very surprised about that event. Now it's just a joke. By the way, the owner of the powder factory, which caused this devastation of the infrastructure, is an ex-Putin security chief. Well, anyways, Russians might try to go to the neighboring country, North Korea, and get some warmth out there. Because this winter, for the first time, the tourist organizations are opening the ski resort in North Korea, the only one which is now open for Russians. To other news, we know that North Korea is actively testing their ballistic missiles in Ukraine. Those missiles are capable to carry nukes. I think that it is the dangerous act not just for Ukraine but for the all of the world. So definitely something should be done about it, and I see the escalation in Korean Peninsula too. Kim Jong-un said today that they're looking straight towards the war and they are not willing to avoid it. Plus, they continue to shell the demilitarized area using their artillery. As the response, the South Korea sent more reinforcements to the border on the north. We see that tensions might rise in Europe too, and some of the insights appear about the Trump behavior back in 2020, where at the conference in Davos, Switzerland, he said to Ursula von der Leyen, let's say the leader of the European Union, that the United States of America will not protect European Union against any sort of the attacks. Also, Trump said that it's better to exit NATO because this organization is useless. We have this information published in Politica. I know that mainstream media sources are not very reliable, but they refer to some of the officials from the European Union, the high officials, who confirmed that this conversation happened. That is why I'm quite concerned about Trump being the president of the United States. It's uncertain, it's the huge risk not just for the United States but also for allies. Luckily, the Congress of the United States introduced the new norm that countries should stay in NATO, and the decision should be taken in Congress. So United States, I'm sure, will stay in NATO, no matter who is the president. The main thing is the attitude towards allies. Guys, again, I'm not against Republicans or Democrats. From Republican Party, there is the nice candidate that I would honestly support if I was the American citizen. I'm speaking about Nikki Haley. She's not perfect, but anyways, she supports Ukraine. Maybe that is why I would vote for her from that party, but again, her rating is lower compared to Trump's. So this year, with a high probability, there will be deja vu Biden-Trump run. And I will continue to speak about the United States politics because it influences the world. Okay, it seems like Yemeni Houthis launches the big attack on the United States Navy ship in the Red Sea. More than 20 of the drones were shot down by the United States military. The military ships are deployed in the Red Sea to protect the civilian traffic from the Houthi attacks. Nevertheless, Houthis attack the military ships as well. My friends, please don't forget to press the like to this video. By doing so, you help me a lot. And also, please check out my personal link in a video description just below, where you may find the Atlas VPN Premium with a huge discount that was made especially for you. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.